the Kansas City Chiefs and Denver Broncos NFL action for Sunday afternoon for the Chiefs coming on the road here to take on the Broncos. And, well, maybe that line was a little bit higher to a certain extent. I saw as high as 9 or so here with the Chiefs and maybe the Broncos. Hey, um, I don't know what you call it, whatever Sean Payton did. It's definitely did set the team back again a little bit, where after they were trying to kind of, they bring him in, whether things worked or whether this was the plan or not, if there was a purge or whatever to get rid of personnel who just wasn't going to do it that the Sean Payton way or whatever. But you don't want to turn back the clock too far with older players and whatnot. But the Broncos have played just a little bit better of late, a little bit better of late. So much so that the move here is kind of, well, it's on the Broncos. And, um, you know, for the Chiefs, look, they're still, championship caliber team. You're still putting them at the top with Buffalo, with Miami right now. Who else do you want to put in there from the AFC? Can you include the Beng? No, obviously not. Nobody would include the Bengals. It does feel like the Bengals, got in there and earned their chance that they still could be that team. But who else can you consider right now um, in the AFC? But for whatever reason, and look, this has been everybody knows the Chiefs own the Broncos. They've won 160 straight games against them, or something like that. And they also cover the spread when they face the Broncos. But it just, I mean, how many trends, how many things, the moves on the Broncos aren't the squares going to line up to lay a touchdown on the road here with the Chiefs? Man, at least give us a hook or something, players. Are the books that savvy and sophisticated? They're willing to keep this down when it was as high as 9. Yeah, are there some, you know, declines with the Chiefs of late offensively? Do we take it for granted? Do we take the Chiefs for granted? They'll just go out there, win the game, maybe not cover. I don't know. McKinnon is probable. Justin Watson is probable today. So I'm probably gonna try to find a way to get on these Broncos. I don't think they can win, but this 16 game streak has to end sometime. Denver's not great. Is this situation getting better? I'm not even sure about that. But the game just, what was the 2 weeks ago they played at Kansas City. Kansas City was a 10.5 point favorite. They covered the spread for most people. Hello to Mark Lee today. Blake says, I will take the Chiefs for granted, and I'll take the Chiefs, I think is what he said. Verner says, go under here in this one. You got a road favorite. I did allude to on one of the shows this week. I don't think I said it here, but it looks like Derek is. I think Derek is saying not hard. I think he's saying this is Chiefs. And right, so Darren says they're the Broncos offense, but not they can't cover this. And Ray says they can't trust them at this point. So, like I said, I guess the books are just giving free money away with the Chiefs at every Joe Square. Not that you guys are square. I mean, you guys are here, I think, for a reason. We're hanging on to the 3 or 4 dozen people that we do every day that really understands, how to play this game. And that's, what I respect about you guys coming in here. We're not throwing darts. And we have to be on sometimes. It's kind of like trying to, be honest with somebody, right? And I think sometimes we all can be guilty of not being truthful when some people need that. Don't call it criticism, okay? I mean, there's no reason to. But for the Chiefs, yeah, I mean, is there complacency, whatever, in their season sometimes? They end up not covering, they win. Um, so Broncos 11-6-1 last 18 games as a home underdog, and they've been a few times a home underdog kind of late. But uh, Denver, look, they've got to not give up the late score like in the first half, right? Because you know that Mahomes is the king of getting that late score in the first half, and this is where Denver kind of struggles. Hey, hello to Brown Beats here today. Everyone's going to be on the Chiefs. I'm that guy. I'm your Huckleberry today. I'm on the Broncos here against the Chiefs. Just get away. And right, Ray says, look, it was 9, and maybe it was even 8.5, whatever it was, right, Ray? There's no doubt it was not 7. The books didn't open at 7. I'm showing a little bit of movement here on the total. It's basically back at 45.5, and maybe even 46. So this one looks to be going up a little bit. I will say, thank you, Derek. You and me, kid. Let's do it. Or old man or man, Derek, nice to see you. And thank you, Thomas. Thank you. And Blake says the books are who we do battle with. Yeah, to a certain extent, although the books, they're trying to just take 10%. They're trying to get it right in the middle. And they have to anticipate where the money's going. You got to think the Swifties can get into the end zone. Reports are, and Taylor looks like she's not attending very many road games. I think the Jets game was different because that was in New York, and she lives there. I know where she lives. So, reportedly, Taylor Swift will not be at. And what's going to happen when we get to the playoffs? I don't know. I mean, look, I might be a little bit more, extreme than you guys. You guys are just out there handicapping. It's all about the sports. I went ahead and I checked all of Taylor Swift's concert dates, and when her tour resumes, the Eras tour is going to resume, and the playoffs are going to be going. So what's going to happen, right? She's already look. Everybody said, why doesn't Taylor Swift do the Super Bowl? She hasn't been asked to do it. Her tour coincides. I mean, she would literally have to. This is how much I have researched it. Now you guys are really going to think I've gone off the rails here, but this is why you guys are here with me, right? This is what makes our show the first look every day on YouTube live, and Steam plays are coming in. This is what we specialize in. But the Eras tour, her tour date will end. She would literally have to get on a plane, fly straight to the stadium, and it's in here in Vegas, right? And get here right at game time. Maybe at game time. Maybe. I mean, it's that close. So, Perky, wrong chat room. All right. I got you, Blake. And he's kidding and he's serious. Seemed like it's funny. We'll talk about it. Let's move on. But anyways, give me the Broncos today. I've got to side with the bookmakers, right? We're in competition with the bookmakers. I know, and everyone's let's bash the books. And I know that I'm not trying to be condescending to any of you guys. I appreciate you guys so much. Check that weather. But I appreciate I appreciate you guys so much. But to me, the bookmakers, those are my buddies. I look for clues in the line. I try to anyway, and it's not a be all end all. I mean, you still got to go out there and play the game. But here, you guys said it. A few people said it right. The Chiefs were 8. The Chiefs were 8.5. Maybe even the Chiefs were not. And now they're 7. Have the Broncos played just a tiny little bit better? Has even Russell Wilson even played just a tiny bit better? Yeah. Yeah, they, just a tiny little bit better, the Broncos. And again, look at the big picture. New ownership, ton of money, change in coaching staff, for better, for worse. Looking back, I don't think this is going, will be the Sean Payton prove me wrong, right? I want to, I kind of want to root for Sean Payton to a certain extent. Part of me doesn't necessarily. Isn't it interesting that one of the I don't know. You talk about some of the more prominent female gambling commentators, and Sean Payton's daughter is one of them, Megan Payton. If you know who, maybe you know who that is. You've seen her on. I call these, Tony and the other channel who went up. She might be one notch or two kind of above it, above the, but she definitely is a gambling. That's where she's been, and I'm sure she looked more mainstream there, and sometimes people are using the gambling to try to think it's a stepping stool, but it's not. You should be involved in the gambling commentary space, but she does a good job. So Megan Payton. All right, give me the Broncos. Let's move on. Hey, what am I doing?